Oh man, I don't know where to even begin here today. It was a great weekend of writing, and some stuff went down in my conversations that it's like normally I don't come here to talk about what I wrote over the weekend. The reason why is because I like to do from the sofa to the studio, and because as the messages or as the paragraphs are given to me, it's like I want to share them with you, like we're having a real honest to God conversation. But something came to me yesterday, which happened to be September 11th, 2022. And it was all based on an interesting thought that had come to me just before midnight on September 10th. It was an interesting thought. The first line read, "It's almost tomorrow," to which was followed with, "Can't I say that about every second after midnight? I'm nothing more than a replica of what time is making me." Nearly 12 hours later, the thought still has light in my soul. Now, here's the thing, all of us together. So many people attempt to reach into a past that doesn't exist. The events are only memories, but it's not now. Whereas every second that passes is getting closer to a brand new tomorrow. And how we get there by acting and responding is determined by the shapes we've become because of time. Oh, I'm often accused of doing it all. But the thing is, I haven't done it all. Time has only allowed me to have this much space and to try to do different things in this much space. It's all based on making a choice. I didn't grow up expecting to become a third-degree black belt. That table took place because of a need to locate my truer self on a journey that's out of control. I've learned more today outside of just being in the daily classroom. Hey, it's Arrow. This is the Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer, and thoughts like this is what it's all about. It's taking something that just plants itself inside your soul in that moment of now. And it's like, well, let's build on this. Let's see where this is going. You know, songwriters and storybook tellers will always tell you it doesn't just happen. They take notes. They will record things into their phone, and then they go back and they start gluing things together. It's the same exact thing when it comes to writing, when, you know, like a daily journal or your process of thinking in the present place of now. Is that, you know, it comes to you in little pieces parts. And when you glue it together, you're going, holy crap. Oh my God. This is the Daily Mess. The things that we say. Should we have to explain what it is that we say? And at what age is it automatically accepted behavior? The term, "you can't teach an old dog new tricks," is very, very valuable. I'm learning this as I get older, is that the tricks that I do today are, well, it's like, wow, you've been doing this for how long? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Why does saying something that sounds so perfect in my moment of now, it's not received the way that people believe in the way that I believed in it when I was sharing it? It took me 6 times yesterday to get my sister to understand a quote that came to me. Her exact words were, "I don't get what you're saying. I mean, where are we going with this? This is actually kind of a boring subject." Thoughts that seem to be spot on become a blank face to others. Are thoughts like jokes? They need to be crafted, tested again and again, then sent back to the crafting room. After so many days, it becomes a habit. Good or bad, it's stuck to the plan. Now, that single thought, though, becomes your story. It's still gathering blank faces, but it's still part of your story because you keep saying it over and over and over again because it won't leave your thinking process. It's so clear in the ears of he or she who's holding it, but those that are receiving it aren't getting it. I work with a guy who endlessly won't stop asking questions. Now, I'm not sure why he's this way, but I had to do some research on this. And what I learned is that he's inquisitive, in need of attention, or just interested in building some sort of conversation. Just give him something to talk about. Now, the research also goes on to say that you have to be aware of these people to find out if they're infatuated or seeking answers because they might be a future threat. What makes it difficult to measure is our level of trust. Most people are extremely open about things in their lives. Where I do hidden speak as a way of communicating. In other words, I say things that make people have a blank face. A lot of people, they don't explain it that way. They just come out and just tell their story. They give off their junk. You gotta always remember one thing about being a martial artist. And that is what you've learned, you don't brag about, because it can become somebody's weapon in the future. But we have to think like that as an everyday person as well. What you talk about in your tight circles at work or somewhere in the neighborhood, remember, what they receive in their moment of now can become conversation by way of gossip. And by that time, the story's already bent, because the story is always changing when it goes to somebody else's head and heart. Be aware of what you share. Know that it's going to fall flat or be food for future thought. So if somebody's asking you a lot of questions, it's time that you start asking them questions back. I'm Arrow, and that's the Daily Mess.